everyone, hope you are good and be happy always. Once again, welcome to Shachi's Academy, and today we will discuss the concept of revenue. What is revenue anyway? See, if anyone is doing any business, they will produce something. Okay, do they produce it to keep it at their homes or consume it by themselves? No, they produce that commodity just to sell in the market and earn some money from it. The money that they get or the proceeds that they get after selling that commodity in the market is known as revenue. Simple. So what is revenue? Revenue are the sale proceeds of a firm. That means the money that they get after selling their produce in the market is simply known as revenue. Okay. Now we will discuss three basic concepts of revenue, that is average revenue AR, marginal revenue MR, and total revenue TR. Throughout this video, I will be using these abbreviations because it takes a lot of space on board to write all these abbreviations. So I will be referring to them as AR, MR and TR. Now, revenue is equal to cost plus profit. This is the basic formula. Why? Because when we sell some commodity in the market, it includes the cost in it. That is cost of production. That is cost of producing that commodity, particular commodity, and the profit as well. Take for example, we had taken example of bakery in our last video, that is concept of cost. Now I'll be referring to that example again, and that is the bakery example. I have a bakery. I manufacture bread and biscuits in that. Now, if I produce 10 packets of biscuit or bread, 10 packets of bread in my factory or bakery, and the price of that particular bread is 10 rupees, rupees 10. Now what will I get after selling them? 10 into 10 is equal to 100. This is my revenue. Okay. How much did I sell? I sold 10 packets in the market, and at what price? 10 rupees, and I am getting 100 rupees. This is my revenue. Now when I produce these breads, what do I use? I use raw material, I use plant and machinery, machines, I use labor, that is labor, capital, entrepreneurship, everything is used. So I have to incur cost, I invest money in production of that, and that is known as cost. Now profit. When I undertake all these activities, I am using my own intellect, I am using my own strength, I am using my own time, I am taking risk, I am the risk bearer, I am taking entrepreneurship. So I have to gain something from that, and that is profit. I expect some profit from that. So profit is the portion that goes to entrepreneur or the businessman for his risk taking ability or his effort. So your revenue consists of cost and plus profit. Okay. Now, for example, if we want to calculate cost from this formula, then I'll be using cost, C for cost, P for profit, and R for revenue. Now, cost is equal to C. So, cost is equal to revenue minus profit, R minus P. Now, if you want to calculate profit, and profit, all of you know the formula of profit. Profit is equal to, again, we will subtract cost from this. Is equal to, profit is equal to revenue minus cost. So, this is very simple. Whenever we want to calculate any one of them, we will just subtract the other one from this revenue. Simple. Now, total revenue. Total revenue, just like whatever the total proceeds are gained by a businessman after selling any commodity in the market, that is known as total revenue. Take for example, total revenue is equal to AR into Q. The formula for this is, and what is that? Total sale proceeds from any produce of that particular businessman. So total revenue is equal to AR into Q or P into Q. AR and P are same. Okay. We will prove it later on. AR is equal to P also. So AR into Q is equal to your total revenue. Take for example this only, we have sold 10 packets at rupees 10. So total revenue was 100. Here we can write it again. AR is equal to rupees 10 and we sold 10 packets. So total revenue is equal to what? Is equal to rupees 100. That is very simple now. That means total sale proceeds. When we sell in something in market, whatever total money we get from those sales is known as total revenue. Again now, we need to see marginal revenue. What is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is simply the change in total revenue. Okay, and this formula, this is the first formula of marginal revenue, and we will discuss the second formula also. These are two equations expressing the calculation of marginal revenue. Now, marginal revenue, it is simply calculated as delta TR by delta Q. What is delta TR anyway? Delta TR is nothing technical. It is just the plus minus again. That is the difference between the total revenue of some certain units minus total revenue of those one minus of that particular commodity. Take for example here, we have taken one example. Look it carefully. Total revenue of 10 units is equal to rupees 5. Okay, and total revenue of 5 units is equal to rupees 10. Simple. Now what is the difference between total revenue? 100 minus 50 is what? Rupees 50. So this is delta TR. Simple. Delta TR is equal to 50. Simple. That means change in your total revenue. Delta TR is nothing. Then delta Q is equal to 5. How? Here we were selling 10 units initially and now we are selling 5 units. So 10 minus 5 is 5. So delta Q is 5. So delta is nothing but change in any phenomena, in any variable. Okay. So delta TR by delta Q is equal to what? So delta TR is your how much? 50 divided by delta Q is your 5 is equal to what? 5 ones are and 5 ones are 0. So 10. So delta TR is your marginal revenue is equal to rupees 10. Simple. It's very simple calculation. Now the second formula for this is marginal revenue is equal to total revenue of n minus 1 commodity. I beforehand also told you that marginal means one additional. That means whatever we are doing, if we are selling 10 commodities and now if we are selling 11 commodities. See, the concept of marginal is very simple. Marginal means additional. If you are doing something and additionally we do something one more, that is your additional. So marginal revenue, marginal cost, all these come from this concept one additional. Okay. So now here, what is one additional over here? Marginal revenue is equal to total revenue of n minus total revenue of n minus 1. I'll tell you the concept of one additional. Okay. Here total revenue of 10 units is equal to 100 and total revenue of selling 11 units is equal to 110. That means now I am selling 11 packets of bread. So what is my total revenue? 110. Now total revenue of n. Here we will take n for final sale. Finally we are selling how many commodities or packets of bread? 11. So your n is 11. Now total revenue, marginal revenue is equal to total revenue of n. That means total revenue of 11 commodities, 11 minus total revenue of n minus 1. What is n minus 1? N is 11. So n minus 1 is 11 minus 1. N is 11, no? So n minus 1 is 11 minus 1 is equal to what? Total revenue of 11 minus total revenue of 10th unit. 10 units. So total revenue of n is what? 110. Rupees 110 minus rupees 100. Because for 10 units it was 100. So we will write it 100. And now what is the difference? 110 minus 100 is equal to 10. So this is the concept of marginal revenue, that is the proceeds or the money that we get by selling one additional unit of commodity is known as marginal revenue. Simple. Now average revenue, that is very simple to calculate here. Average revenue is just total revenue divided by quantity of output that we are selling. That's too simple. What is total revenue? We can take this example. Total revenue of 10 units. Suppose we are selling 10 units and total revenue of selling them is rupees 100. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to write R. See, for any calculation, always refer to the unit which has been used in that question. If that is expressed, money is expressed in rupees, you need to write rupees as a symbol like this. This is symbol for rupee. If dollars has been used, Australian dollars has been used, yen has been used, so you have to write that unit particularly in that answer. Otherwise, your answer would be wrong. Right? Now here, total revenue by Q. Total revenue is 100 for selling 10 units of output. Now, and the units of output is 10, obviously. Now, 10 ones are and 10 tens are 100. So, what is your average revenue? 10. That means rupees 10 is your average revenue. Simple to calculate. That is total revenue divided by quantity of output that you have sold in the market. Now, this is a table expressing your total revenue, marginal revenue and average revenue. How they are related and how they are calculated. We have done calculations, but we have to just see the relationship. Now, quantity of output is 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit and 5 unit. Finally, we are manufacturing 5 units. Now, for first unit, the average revenue, that is price of that particular unit is, or the price of bread is rupees 10. Now, at this point, total revenue is also 10. Why? Because we are selling only 1 unit of output or 1 packet of bread in the market. So, total revenue is also equal to your average revenue only. Price only. One packet of bread, 10 rupees, 10 rupees we are getting in total. Now, what is marginal revenue? Here, n is what? 1. Okay? And n minus 1 is 1 minus 1. That is 0. So, what is the amount of money that will get by not selling or the selling 0 amount of commodity? That will be 0 only. Okay? So, 10 minus 0 is your 10. Okay? Like this. 10. Total revenue of n is 1 minus total revenue of 1 minus 1 is equal to total revenue of 1 minus total revenue of 0 commodity. When we sell 0 commodity, we do not get anything. So, that's why it is 0. Now, for 2 units, 2 into 10 is what? 20. So, here, by selling 2 commodities, total revenue is 20. By selling 3 commodities, total revenue is 30, 4 for 40 and for 5 it is 50. So, total revenue is your 50 rupees. Now, what is marginal revenue? Same formula will be used every time. So, the simple way of doing this is just subtract the initial from the final. Here for 2 units, what is the final total revenue? 20. 20 minus 10 is 10. 30 minus 20 is 10. 40 minus 30 is 10 and 50 minus 40 is 10. So, you have to subtract the preceding one from the following one. Okay. So, this 50 is the next one. So, 1 minus the previous one you will subtract. So, this is the final, this is the previous one. You will subtract the previous one from this one. Okay. This is very simple. Now, here average revenue is 10. That means it is constant. Now, here total revenue, marginal revenue is 10 again. Why? Because when average revenue is constant, your marginal revenue is also constant. They both will be equal. Now, what about total revenue? It keeps on increasing. When there is constant increase in your average revenue, there will be when AR is constant, your total revenue will also increase at constant rate. So, see the increase in total revenue is constant or not? 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. So, 20, 30, 40, 50. That means difference is equal. Now, proof. P is equal to AR. This has been given in your book and I am giving you the answer. Average revenue is equal to total revenue by Q. This is the formula we have discussed for average revenue. Now, total revenue can also be written as P into Q, as we have seen here. Total revenue is equal to P into Q also. So, for total revenue, the formula is P into Q also and your average revenue to Q also. So, instead of your average revenue, we are using P here because P and AR are same. So, here P into Q divided by Q. So, Q cancel. When there are same types of variables in denominator and numerator, we can cancel them out. So, by this principle, I am cancelling them out and the resultant is your P only. Q are cancelled, so P is only left. It is the only resultant. Now, next we have TR is equal to sigma MR. How it is calculated? T is equal to sigma. T is equal to sigma means addition. Sigma is nothing but the summation, sum total. Okay, so TR. Here we can calculate what is sigma MR. MR for 1 is what? 10. And we are writing rupee, and in bracket we are writing 10 plus 10 for 2 units, plus 10 for 3 units, plus 10 for 4 units, and plus 10 for 5 units. So in total there are 5 units for 10 plus 10 plus 10, and this is what? Rupees 50. So here total revenue is rupees 50. Why? And how it is calculated? By summing up all the values of marginal revenue for every unit. Okay, every additional unit. Now, relationships. Number 1, marginal revenue is an addition to TR. We have seen that marginal revenue is an addition to TR. Here marginal revenue is added to 10. So, it becomes 20 total revenue. Then again we add 10 to 20. Then it becomes 30. Again we add 10 to your 30. It becomes 40. So, total revenue is increasing by additions of MR. When we are adding MR to it, it is increasing likewise and it is adding up to become TR. Now, if average revenue is constant, marginal revenue is constant, we have seen that average revenue was constant and here MR was also constant. Now, constant MR means constant addition to TR. Here again, where MR is constant, there will be constant additions to TR, that is total revenue. Here 10 plus 10 plus 10, only those constant additions are there. Now, TR when price is constant. Now we have to see graphically what is the relationship for TR. See, when there is constant increase in your total revenue, what will happen? The graph will move like this. I am just making it freehand. Oh, okay. So the graph, make it like this. So the graph is moving upwards it has having a what? Positive slope. It is moving upwards. As we sell more and more units of output, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So here the graph is moving likewise, and the price here average revenue. Also the addition is going there. Okay. So now here, if at price 10, if we are selling 5 units or 10 units of commodity, so here 10 and 10. This is price is 10 rupees 10. This is revenue, and here the price is 10. Okay, and the total units that we are selling is 10 again. So what will be total revenue? 10 into 10 is 100, and the area, the shaded portion, and the area under this is known as total revenue graphically. Now the second one, method 2. Here we are using this formula. In this method, your MR is equal to AR. I told you when AR is constant, your MR is also constant. So here AR is 10, MR is also 10. So price is 10. Okay, rupees 10. So they both are same. Now we are selling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commodities like this. So we are keeping on selling them, but the price remains constant. So how we will calculate our that means total revenue? Here price is constant, and now we are selling 10 units of commodity. Okay. So OP into your, if I am writing OQ, so OP into OQ is your answer. The shaded portion is your total revenue. Simple. And here also OP into OQ was the answer. So total revenue finished. Now can MR be 0 or negative? Yes, it can be 0 or negative also when your AR is not constant. Here we can see AR is not constant and it is falling. See here 100, 80, 40 and 30. In different markets, people have different bargaining power. For example, when we go to any shop, a seller or a businessman may sell a unit of commodity at higher price to someone and at lower price to someone else. Who is having better bargaining power, that buyer will take that commodity at lesser price. So in that manner, there are differential prices. So in that manner, average revenue can be falling or increasing also. So here our average revenue is different and it is falling. For output 1 unit of output, our average revenue is 100 and the total revenue is also 100. Now for 2 units, if he is selling 2 units, because when we want to sell more units of commodity, increased or greater units of commodity, greater amounts in the market, we have to reduce our prices. We will discuss this concept in our markets, but for now we are selling higher amounts or greater amounts of commodities at lower prices. So price is becoming lower and lower as we sell more and more units of commodity. Here 80, for 80 we are selling 2 commodities, so 80 into 2 is 160. Then we have reduced the price, that is 40 into 4 is 160 and 30 into 5 is 150. So here what we can see, when the output was 1 unit and we were selling 1, the total revenue was 100. So here now we can calculate marginal revenue also for this. So 100 minus 0, as we use this formula, total revenue of n minus 1 commodity. Here also we will use the same formula. When the output is 0, we are not getting any revenue, total revenue, so 100 minus 0, see 100. Now for 2 output we are getting how much is for n? N is your 2 commodities and 160 is the revenue, so 160 minus 100, the previous one. We are subtracting the previous total revenue from this one, so 160 minus 100 is 60. So here we can see initially the marginal revenue was 100, now it has become 60. Thereafter 160 minus 160 is your 0 and 150 minus 160 is your minus 10. So here we can see that marginal revenue has become 0, and thereafter if we keep on manufacturing and selling commodities, our marginal revenue can also become negative. It has become minus 10. So it can be 0 and negative also. And what is the rate of decrease in this average revenue and marginal revenue? Then we have to see, and then we will see this graph. Okay, now here for 1 unit of output, average revenue is 10. Suppose we are seeing that average revenue is 10. For 2 it's 9.5, for 3 it is 9, and for 4 is 8.5. And what is total revenue now? 1 into 10 is 10, 9.5 into 2 is 19, 9 into 3 is 27, and 34 for 8.5 into 4. Now what is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is just the addition to total revenue. So here how many rupees were added to 10 to become 19? 10, 19. So 19 minus 10 is what? 9. Then 27 minus 19 is 8. And 34 minus 27 is 7. Now what we need to see over here, the basic thing we need to consider over here is here the decrease or the difference between the final and initial AR. The difference between these two is 0.5, 0.5. Again, the difference between 9 and 9.5 is 0.5. Again, the difference between 8.5 and 9 is your 0.5. So, difference here consistently remains 0.5. That is 0.5 rupee or 50 paisa. Now, in marginal revenue, what is the difference? Here, 10, 9, 8, 7. Now, there is difference of 1 every time. So, here. Now, you can see 1 is 2 into 0.5. That means the difference in marginal revenue is twice the difference of your average revenue. Here, why? Because when average revenue declines, marginal revenue declines by double speed. It decreases 2 times. That means if there is decrease of rupee 1 in average revenue, there will be decrease of 2 rupees in marginal revenue. So the slope of marginal revenue will fall with twice the speed of the slope of average revenue, and the slope of marginal revenue will be much steeper, double steeper than your average revenue. Take for example the hills of Darjeeling. They are having gentle slope. This is Darjeeling, okay, where tea is manufactured. All of you know that. This is Darjeeling, okay. Now the slope of this hill is gentle. It is gentle. You can roam here and there and you can play and all. Now the slopes of Himalayas is quite steep. If you stand here, if you fall from here, you'll just land down in any valley or in a river or stream. So you will die even. So here the slope of MR is like this. MR means merger. Okay. So you are dying. MR. The slope is double. Now here we can see now. Here the slope of AR is gentle and the slope of MR is double of AR. Now here MR lies below your AR because it falls with double speed. Here the slope is steep, you can see, and here the slope of AR is gentle. Now you can see here and here. After this point it touches 0. When it touches 0, it intersects this x-axis. It is becoming 0, and after becoming 0 it becomes negative. This is your negative quadrant, -1, -2. Because according to mathematics there are 4 quadrants, and this is positive quadrant, this +1, +2, etc., and this is -1, -2, etc. So it goes down to become negative after intersecting the x-axis. And now here what is happening? When MR is 0, your total revenue is maximum, and after this point none of the sensible businessmen or the producers will manufacture a single commodity. They will not engage in production of any single commodity because they will incur losses. Why? Because marginal revenue has become 0 and total revenue you get also becomes negative when you keep on manufacturing after that. Take for example, I can explain here. Here it is rupees, for 5 units it's rupees 50. If you manufacture 6 units and you are getting only 0 rupees, so what will be the total revenue for 6 units? 50. And if you manufacture 7th unit also, what will be the marginal revenue? It is -10. So here 50 minus 10 is what? Rupees 40. So what is happening? You are incurring losses, and none of the businessmen in this world want to incur losses, so they will not manufacture after reaching the maximum total revenue, because after that it will decline. So when marginal revenue is 0, your total revenue is maximum and no one will manufacture after that. Okay, that's clear, I hope. And next time, in our next video, in the part 2 of this video, we will discuss the average revenue or marginal revenue curves of monopolistic competition, monopoly, etc. So keep in touch with us, keep watching the videos, and if you have any problem in understanding this concept, please do write to me, and take care and God bless you.